live. We live. All right. All right. Uh, I don't know if I should have went live to do this video. Give me one second. Okay. We back. So, all right. There might be some noise in the background. Ain't nobody here. That's cool. Welcome to another episode of that deep shit where we connect the dots. And on today's episode, we back. We back. And on today's episode, we're going to talk about astrology metaphysics. Right? We back. We back in this thing, right? Okay. I don't think I should have went live with this. I should have just did the video and uploaded it, but hey, whatever. Okay, so basically, I am not very proficient in the specifics of astrology, meaning I can't tell you if this is conjunct with that, and if Saturn is in this house, this means that, without looking it up. I could look it up and tell you all day, you know. So salute to my astrologers, Epiphany Place, let's see, Truth Tarot, Dolo the Flight Boss, Rose Tarot, and countless other astrologers out there. If I'm forgetting, my bad. All right, but those are some of the few that I rock with, right? Okay, so I can't tell you all that. If you want to know about all that, look it up, or just wait for somebody to kind of tell you about it yourself. But what this video is going to do, this video is going to pretty much give you tools to use if you are getting a reading or if you're doing the readings yourself, right? Okay. Like I said, this is metaphysics. This is astrology metaphysics. So we're going outside, beyond, inside, beyond the normal construct of which you think of things, right? Metaphysics. Let's get it, right? Okay. So, and if you haven't gotten a natal chart reading ever in your life, I would highly recommend it. Reason being is because if the right person does your natal reading, right, and reads your chart, the effects are better than getting a therapy session from a psychiatrist. It's better than getting a therapy session from someone that you're dishing hella money to. Because they're going to tell you exactly why these things are, you know, and just tell you before you even tell them. They're going to tell you. But the important thing is, if you're getting a reading from someone, let it be someone that you resonate with. You know what I mean? Therefore, the energy can channel through them. Because the way that people do divinations or use divination systems such as the tarot cards, right? They're really channels, and the cards are their tools. So it all depends on the person with the tools that's being a channel to give you this information that you're seeking. Okay? And we're going to get into how that works. That's what we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about how it works. Because you can get a reading all day, but you don't know how it works. And anytime you understand how it works, it makes that 10 times better. 100 times better. Trust me, right? But yeah, so I had gotten a natal chart reading. I've gotten, like, in the last year or so, I've gotten 2, right? And the last one I got was excellent. It was so informative. I discovered so many things about myself and my shadow self that really needed to be unpacked. So I'm very grateful for that reading. That reading was dope. Actually, both the readings was dope, but they were dope in different ways because, just like how I said, the channel of the person that was doing it. You know what I mean? So, Yeah. What was I going to say? I'm trying to get. Okay. So the way that this works, the way that this works, it works from source energy, right? So wherever source is, whatever creation is, creative source, prime energy, God, universal creator, creation itself, whatever you want to call that, there is a source, right, of energy. So when this energy trickles down, right, it trickles down till it gets to you. So you have a connection between source and you. But there's a whole bunch of levels in between because there's levels to this shit, right? I might have to draw some of this out. I might have to draw some of this out. Okay. So, matter of fact, hold on, give me one second. Hold on. Forgive the noise in the back. Somebody's drilling some shit. Okay. So, uh, there's levels. So basically, let's just say, if we want to keep it simple, because there's so many levels, there's impossible to talk about them all, right? So let's just say we're dealing with the solar system, right? And whether you subscribe to 12 signs astrology of the 12 zodiac, or whether you subscribe to 13 signs astrology, because there's actually a hidden sign keeping it funky. I'm not trying to disrupt what y'all got going on, but there's 13 signs. I'm just saying. So, because we can't forget about Ophiuchus, right? But it's all based around this solar system, okay? It's all based around the solar system. So that's the primary way that people read the stars. Now remember, stars and planets are just reflectors of a light source. This is what I mean by there's different levels of the light source. But what people fail to realize is that the light source, I was just reading the comment, but the light source comes from somewhere. So you got to go outside of the solar system to kind of get a good concept, right? A good concept of these levels, okay? So outside of the solar system, there are other planetary bodies or reflectors of light. We'll just call them reflectors of light. Okay, so even if you subscribe to a binary star system, which also connects to another binary star system, you know what I'm saying? That's right. Let's take a break and talk about what enlightened child of God just said. Let's get them likes up, man. If you in the building, let's get them likes up. We got 14 people in the building and only 6 likes. We halfway there. We got to get 100%. We got to get 100%. 14 people in the building. We got to hit 14 likes. Oh, somebody just dipped. That's all right. 13 likes. Let's get it. All right. Cool. So, the light source comes from outside the solar system, so you can't forget about those levels or those reflections, okay? You can't forget about those reflections. So as this light source trickles down, right, from the outside. Matter of fact, let me draw this shit. I'm finna draw this shit. Y'all playing games. Hold on, let me see something real quick. Forgive my abode. It's a little junky. Don't trip though. Don't really trip though. Yeah, it's a little junky. Hold on. Hold on, man. Hold on, man. Hopefully this works. All right. Let me see if this cheap ass shit works. All right. Oh, okay, it works. Cool. All right, that's cool. So let's just say uh, this the solar system here, planets, right? Sun, whatever, right? Boom, boom, boom. This is one level, right? One level that we pretty much base our astrology on is this, right? We base our astrology on this, right? But remember, this is all about reflections of light because light is energy, and that's what's being read in astrology. You're reading the energy, right? But the light does not originate here. There's levels to where the origination of light is. There's all kind of stuff going on out here, right? Until you get to source. Okay? Don't forget that. But this whole condensation of direction of energy is kind of what they refer to in the Kabbalah or the Kabbalistic train of thought as the Ein Sof and the Ein Sof Or. This is the process of the condensation or the breakdown of the energy. You know what I'm saying? Okay? I feel like, hey, Rashid, you know what I mean? So let's just erase that. I got this from the grocery outlet, you know. So it ain't that good, but we rocking with it though. Let's erase that. They don't even erase good. But we got it though. We got it. We got it. Right? Boom. All right. So you seen, I just showed you the condensation of the energy, right? So once you get inside the planets, you got to understand that energy eventually gets to Earth. We're going to call this Earth. And then eventually gets to you. That's you. Or me. Or whoever, right? Because the energy is coming through that condensation, right? So, whether you get someone that's deciphering the energy for you, called an astrologer, or you're deciding the energy yourself by just being aware, those energies are already written. They're already moving in a mathematic, calculated pattern. This is why these things can be read. But what happens is when it gets to you or the level of the planet, or they call it Malkuth in the Kabbalah, right? It gets more chaotic. So the further it gets from the source, the more chaotic it gets and the more variables can happen based off of perception. Okay? That's very key. More variables can happen based off perception once it gets to the earth level and specifically once it gets to you. You can read the stars, right? Right? You can read the stars by not only getting a reading or observing the stars, you can also read the stars by looking at your actions. Okay? Your actions reflect the same energy that is condensating from source to you. Right? So whatever this pattern is from source, it just changes very little till it gets to you, right? But if you look at things that you do on a yearly basis, on a monthly basis, on a daily basis, you can see, if you just pay attention, you can see what the stars are doing without even reading them. For example, this is just a very random example. For example, when things start to get kind of weird and you're like, why is everything going against the grain of what I'm trying to do? Man, this must be bad luck. Usually it's Mercury retrograde. You don't have to know it's Mercury retrograde, right? You don't have to know it, but you can see it in the actions of your own personal business. You know what I'm saying? So you are a solar system yourself. You are. Your atoms are. Your molecules are. So this is why you can see the pattern of what's in the solar system in your own personal life. Personal life. Once you get a whiteboard, you just start writing anything, right? You start to see these patterns in your own personal life. Not only in your own personal life, just like I said, your atoms is a solar system, so there's astrology inside of your atoms. Your molecules is a solar system, so there's astrology inside of your molecules. DNA, so on and so forth, right? But the key thing that I'm trying to drive home here, and the whole point of me even making this video and going live, right, is that a lot of times, and this is what a lot of astrologers won't tell you. They won't tell you this. A lot of times, we get very dependent. Hold on. We get very dependent on getting a reading, and I'm not trying to knock nobody hustle, right? We get very dependent on getting a reading or reading a horoscope to understand what's going on in our lives, right? And or to predict our future, right? But I'm trying to think, how can I put this in a very smooth way without offending people? But that's not really how you should use the astrology, right? You shouldn't use it for predicting your future, because if you're doing it like that, you're setting your future in stone, like there is no way to change it. Remember, the further it gets from the source, the energy, it gets more chaotic. So there is ways to kind of manipulate it. You know what I'm saying? It gets more chaotic. And I'll tell you a reason for that in a minute. So the more chaos is there, the more chances that you have to create, because creation comes out of chaos. See what I'm saying? So you should use the astrology as a blueprint, or like, say if this was football, knowing the astrology is like seeing the opposing team's playbook. You already know what they finna do. So when you get the astrology, you already know what's kind of the potential of what could happen, right? The potential of what could happen. So if that's not the outcome you want, change it. It's a playbook. It's not set in stone. It's not it's not dictating your life. You're supposed to use it to create the energy. You know what I'm saying? You're supposed to use it to throw the energy back. Let's get the likes up. We almost at 100%. One more, right? And you can tell that it's energy that's you can tell that the universe, or what you want to call fate, God's doing, you can tell that it's energy, and it's not so much a storyboard like, oh, the devil or demons are attacking me. That's not it. That's not what it is. It's energy. It's balance. It's this side, that side, positive, negative, if you want to call it that. So, for example, you could be like, all this bad stuff is happening in my life, and I'm only saying that because I'm kind of going through it, so this is a personal lesson. All this bad stuff is happening in my life. Oh my God, oh my God. Why is this happening? I'm being attacked. No, you're not being attacked. It's just the energies of the way things are set up, and you're trying to do something different without understanding the playbook. Let's take Mercury retrograde, for example, again. I hate to use Mercury retrograde. It's just so mundane. So Mercury retrograde has all these obstacles in your way. You're trying to do something, but you can't get through it because of Mercury retrograde. But see, if you knew the playbook, you wouldn't even be worried about what Mercury retrograde doing, because you already know that you got to spin off and stiff arm and stiff arm. You feel me? This is understanding the playbook. And that was pretty much the gist of where I was trying to get to it. So don't let the astrology dictate. yes, when you get a reading, it may hit hard like, damn, that's real, but it ain't gotta be. You are a chaotic being. This is the chaos realm. You know what I'm saying? Hold on, I'm gonna show you one more thing and I'm gonna get up out of here. My bad. I'm gonna show you one more thing. I'm gonna get up out of here. Hold on. Like I said, forgive my little whoop wop. My little setup here is kind of whack. My little setup here kind of whack. Don't trip though. Hold on. Don't trip though. We focus on that crypto. No, that's playing. All right. So, one reason why you know that this is the cat. They got a boomerang and shit. Really? So, one reason why you know this is the chaos realm is because you can even look at the tree of life to tell, right? So you'll have boom, 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 right? Bam, 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 bam. Rough tree of life. You got the tree of life, right? Bam. We could just say that this is source or a source, for lack of a better phrase. We'll just say that this is source, and we'll call that Kether, or they do call it Kether, right? But even if you travel down the tree of life, right? You travel down and you get to this. Now, I say this all the time. This is a Malkuth, right? You get to Malkuth. They call Malkuth the kingdom, right? But Malkuth is the ass end, or the end, or what they would call the end of source. But at the same time, when you look at a bigger schematic like the seed of life or the flower of life, Malkuth just splits off to become its own tree. So it's not the end. But the only reason why it becomes its own tree because it's chaos here. Here is chaos. So out of chaos comes creation. This is why when you get the energies that condensate from the Ein Sof, and my penmanship is horrible, Ein Sof, or as the light that we're calling astrology trickles down, it gets chaotic. This is why being here, you could be Superman if you understand the chaos. You can create all kind of shit if you understand the chaos. That's why it's imperative to really understand astrology. You feel me? To be honest. And, I'm slacking on my macking because I'm not proficient in it specifically, but I understand how it works. So I kind of don't have to be. I can leave that to other alchemists called astrologers, or other seers called astrologers, and then just go off of that. Or I can just get on Google and research what I need to research and do it moving from there. I'm not telling you to not rock with your favorite astrologer. I'm not saying that at all. You know what I'm saying? Because if you find somebody that is really divine in what they do, rock with it. You know what I'm saying? But don't forget, it's not set in stone. It is what it is, but it ain't gotta be. You feel me? So, with that being said, I'm gonna get up out of here, man. That's 24 minutes of power. 24 minutes of power. Go cut my hair. Out here looking crazy on these streets. I damn near didn't want to do this because I didn't cut my hair, but you know what? Y'all don't care. Now I love y'all for not judging me. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate it. So with all that being said, peace, blessings, positive energy throughout the entire universe. And let's get it.